Okay class, for this video we're just going to go through assignment 1 in a little more detail. So assignment 1 is going to be due on September 10th before 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, uploaded into Canvas. And remember, it's your responsibility to double check that it's uploaded into Canvas well before the deadline. So please don't leave it to last minute, because last minute computer issues are not a valid excuse for items being late in this class. Part of professional software use and professional use of programs like this is getting items done and leaving yourself a buffer of enough time to double check everything, upload it into Canvas, log out of Canvas, log back into Canvas, and make sure it's there. So part of this is building professional practice for you guys with working with software. When you go out into industry, there are deadlines and how to work with those deadlines. So again, due by September 10th before 5 o'clock p.m. Remember, there's a strict late policy, 1 minute late to 24 hours late. We take 50% off of the grade for being late before points are taken off for quality of work. We don't accept items over 24 hours late. So again, building professional practice for deadlines. Some students have already turned in assignment 1 over 10 days before it's due, so there's no excuse. You can do it ahead of time, get it done. Give yourself an artificial deadline a day or two early, that's the day it's really due for you, and upload it ahead of time. All the things are up there now that you need to do the first assignment. So let's go through assignment 1. So I put information about it on the syllabus page, all the instructions, but it's also in the assignments tool. I've written out the same instructions. So for week 1, the first module was to go through and pick your lynda.com video series on Microsoft Word that corresponded to your computer and your software. There were 4 combinations here of if you were on a Mac or PC and which version of the software you had. And you should have gone through that complete lynda.com series for your particular computer and software and gone through and watched all those little mini videos on Microsoft Word. So what the point of that is to use a professional training platform so you can learn how to put footnotes in, how to insert tables, how to do different things in words that you mechanically need to know how to do. And then my job as the course instructor is to go through, and now that you know how to physically move those things around, what are we going to do with it? Well, you are going to do a Microsoft Word document somewhat on yourself and companies you might want to work for, and build a professional portfolio for yourself using this computer software. So week 1, you should have gone through and watched all those lynda.com videos so you know where to go and how to use the menus in there. And they're there while you're a UF student. If you need to go back and watch a certain section, go back and watch that certain section to review how to do a certain tool within there. Now, module 2 leading up to, I've watched the Microsoft Word lynda.com videos for my computer and software. I know how to do some things within the menus of there. Now what are we going to do with it for this class? Well, we're going to do assignment 1, which is a bit of a personal reflection and research into companies and job postings you might want to consider. So there's lots of warnings up here, but I'm going to say them again in the video. It's due uploaded into Canvas by September 10th before 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Don't leave it to the last minute. There's a strict late policy, and it's not a very difficult assignment. It will just leave you taking some time to leave yourself to work out the different portions of it. So don't save it to the last day, last minute. Get it done well ahead of time, upload it, log out, log back in, double check that it's in there. One thing to note is once you've submitted it, don't resubmit anything after the due date deadline, because all we can see is your last submission and it'll look like it's late. So the last thing you should submit is what we see, and have that last submission for the assignment be well before the due date deadline, okay? So don't resubmit after the deadline. Complete, double check, due September 10th before 5. It's your responsibility to log back in. Last minute computer issues are not a valid excuse. Saying you thought it was uploaded is not a valid excuse. You can turn it at any time. Do not modify and resubmit your assignment after the due date deadline. It'll be considered late because we can't tell that you haven't turned it in late. So a little bit of time to say this in this video, but turn it in on time. You guys can do this. There's no reason not to submit it a day early, 2 days early, 10 days early. Some people have already submitted it. What is it? What is assignment 1? So assignment 1 is a Word document that's going to be 9 pages in length, so 9 pages long. You're going to upload it into Canvas, use 10-point Arial font for the entire assignment except for the resume. The resume pages use Arial font style, but your font size might be different than 10-point based on if it's a header or information under the header. Insert a page break between each page and use a single line spacing between lines. So just read through these things to make sure you're checking off all these things as you go along. First page is a personal reflection, and a larger goal of this course is to build yourself personally and professionally by using a software platform. So we're going to do it with Word by doing some self-reflection and some research on job postings. So what you need to do on page 1 of this 9-page document is write a reflection on yourself, where you're at, by doing it by answering these 3 questions. So all you need to do is write answers to these 3 questions and meet the word size, the minimum word size, and use the right font and everything on page 1. What are you studying here at UF? Why does it personally interest you? Really think about it. Why are you here? Why does it interest you? Why do you want to do this thing? Because this helps in looking at companies to potentially work for. 5 years from now, what do you ideally see yourself doing professionally? And what would you find personally fulfilling, and why? Again, 100-word minimum. And what practical experiences do you think you need to have before you graduate that could help you reach that ideal vision? Are there other internships? Are there other skill sets you should get trained at? Are there volunteering things you should do? Are there languages you should learn? So think about those experiences you need to have. So there's some tips for the personal reflection here, and where you're looking for proper grammar, complete sentences, spelling, the word count, the correct font size, and that you're answering these incomplete thoughts. Also, please don't use any acronyms or slang or abbreviations. We have quite a good diversity of majors in here. The field you're going to go into might have some commonplace slang or acronyms in it. We're not going to know what that is necessarily, the people that are grading it. So don't use an acronym unless you spell it out. Don't use slang in an industry. Work on professional communication, realizing the audience that reads some of your items might not be professionally trained on the same language in your field. So here's 3 examples just to help you out to get started on that first page. And take your time on this. This is kind of good for personal reflection. Don't just like, oh, I gotta say 100 words and 99 and a period and there we go, 100. Take some time. This is for your own growth. This course is something hopefully you walk away with good experience with knowing how to use this software, but also building your own portfolio professionally about where you need to go in the next few years to have a successful career, but also something you're happy in. So think about that personal reflection of where you really want to be. So page 2. So the second page of your 9-page document you're going to upload is based around those lynda.com Microsoft Word videos. So again, answering these 2 questions in complete sentences, using proper spelling and grammar, the right font and font size. Number 1, describe one new skill or tool you learned about in Microsoft Word from the lynda.com video series, and explain how you believe mastering that skill base will help you in the industry you aspire to have your career in, minimum of 200 words. So in the Microsoft Word videos you watch, is there something new you learned? What is that tool? And it can be more than one tool. It can be multiple things. If you didn't know much about tables, if you didn't know much about sharing documents online between different people writing in a Word document, what are those items that were new to you in there? And how do you think it could be potentially used if you really learned these skills in your career? It might take a little bit of you researching how Word or a Word type software is used in your industry. So you might want to just do a quick Google search on that to put an answer together for this first question. Question 2, now there's little stars here. That means, pay attention, your answer to question 2 cannot be Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, or Microsoft PowerPoint. It can't be the 3 things we're going to look at in this class. Think about another software platform through lynda.com. So search through the menu of the lynda.com series of videos. List the lynda.com name of one other instructional video series you plan on watching to develop yourself professionally, and why the content of that short course will be relevant to the field you intend to work in. It's free while you're a student. There's so many training options. It's so much free professional development. Take advantage of it. Get a skill base in Photoshop and Illustrator. In doing social media marketing, there's all kinds of cool short courses. I'll open up the menu real quick here to show you where I'm asking you to look. So on lynda.com, you'll browse this library, all kinds of cool courses. While you're a UF student following that login procedure that was shown in our syllabus, you can use any of these and go through and learn some of the software or learn about a field or an industry. 3D and animation, audio and music, business if you want to take a class on data analysis, on AdWords, on productivity, CAD if you wanted to learn how to do some 3D modeling to build structures that then you could use the 3D printers on Marston Science Library to print out. Cool courses in there. Design if you want to learn about Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, designing logos for companies, digital publishing. Developer, if you want to learn how to program, this is cool. You want to learn how to make apps for an Android, you want to learn how to use Python, which is a very simple open programming language. Really cool courses in here. Learn about databases, education and e-learning. If you're thinking about going into education or going into companies that provide things for the education industry, a lot of interesting things to learn about in here. IT, big data, all over industry. It's going to be a large item for medical records, electronic medical records, looking at stock market analysis, how to take large sets of data and analyze them and look at them in different ways, either for looking for trends for prediction or looking for analysis of data. Big data is a big industry. Let's see, marketing, if you're going to do something related to marketing or anything in business that you feel like you should know a little bit about marketing, how to do email marketing, mobile marketing. Photography, if you're interested in this and you think it would build a portfolio for other skills, go for it. Video or web. So go through this. You know, say you were very interested in CAD and SolidWorks. There's all these courses. So I want you to find one of these courses, like the SolidWorks 2014 Essential Training, and tell me what it is and why you think you'll use it in your industry or why going through this course would help you develop professionally. So really cool stuff that you get as a UF student. Page 3 and 4. You're going to find 2 different job postings in the United States to begin your career, and you're going to include one on page 3 and one on page 4. Be sure that each one also has a web link to where you found it in the footnote. So main points, 2 job postings, 2 different United States cities, because you're going to look at those cities when we do an Excel assignment for living and cost of living in those cities. So 2 different US cities, 2 different job postings. There's 2 websites listed on here, Monster.com or Indeed, that are good ones to search for jobs in, or you can find another one, that's fine too. You need to be able to have a web link to where you found the job and include it in a footnote for each page. So one footnote on page 3 for your first job posting, another footnote on page 4 for the other job posting. And if when you paste them in there, they're over a page long, you need to trim it down to fit on a single page. One for page 3, job posting 1 should all fit on page 3. Make sure you change it to 10-point Arial font, because that was the requirement, and include that web link. So by trimming it down, you can leave out non-essential portions of the job posting. There's a video in here on cover letters and resumes. Watch it, because it's going to give you information how to do the next few pages in your assignment. And it goes through where to find information from the UF Career Resource Center on resumes and cover letters, and includes links to PDFs that I want you to read to build the format of resumes and cover letters for this assignment. You're going to do a resume and a cover letter tuned to job posting 1, and a resume and cover letter tuned to job posting 2, and they're both going to be slightly different than each other, tuned to those particular job postings. So page 5 is going to be a cover letter as if you were applying to job posting 1, and follow the guidelines. They're described in this course video, but there's also a link here to the PDF of the guidelines. So it goes through this. Part of your job is to read through this. Make sure you're following that format. Make a 1-page cover letter, being sure to include all the sections that are in those guidelines for a good cover letter, especially about tuning it to that job posting. Don't use your real address or phone number for privacy. Use this fake address and phone number I've included in there, but you can use your real UF email address because we can see that when we grade your papers anyways. Page 6 is a resume that you would send to job posting 1. Again, in this video I go through it, but there's also a link in here to the document I talk about in the video, and it's a guideline to creating a resume. When you do that, it should look like one of these 2 examples they have in the CRC guidelines. For this class, again, I said it needs to be Arial font, but for the resume page alone on this assignment, they can be different sizes because I want you to make different sizes for headings. Make sure you do these indents, good spelling, reverse chronological order. I cover a lot of these things in that other video up here. See what else. So make sure you're doing page breaks between each of these pages. Page 7 is a cover letter tuned to job posting 2. It should look different than cover letter 1 to job posting 1. Be tuned to that other company, that other job posting. So part of it is learning how to do a little research on the companies, saying something in that cover letter that stands out to show you really looked at them. I'm tuning this cover letter to you. I'm excited in your company because of X, Y, and Z. Page 8 is a resume tuned to the second job posting. Your 2 resumes should not be the same. You should highlight different things based on which company it is, or highlight different experiences and tune it slightly to that particular job posting. Page 9 is explaining that tuning. So you have to answer the following 2 questions. How did you tune your cover letters to job posting 1 and job posting 2? Describe how each cover letter is specific to each job posting and how the 2 cover letters are different from each other. And the second question is, how did you tune your resume to job posting 1 and job posting 2? Describe how they're specific to those job postings and how they're different from each other. 300-word minimum on each one of those. And that's it for assignment 1. That's what I'm expecting from you. It'll be a 9-page document, total in Word. When you go to turn in your assignment, you can look under, not announcements, under assignments here. And you're going to go to assignment 1. Once you've written it up, these instructions within here are the same things that I've put on the front page of the syllabus. So they're also within here, what it should be included on each page. Once you feel like you've gone through that and done all the proper steps in that, you have your good 9-page document ready to submit. You click Submit Assignment here, and you're going to upload it into Canvas. Make sure you do this well ahead of the due date deadline, because again, last-minute computer issues are not a valid excuse. So I'm going to do one more reminder on that deadline. Remember that it's due by September 10th before 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Upload it into Canvas, log out, log back in, double check it's there. Don't change it after the deadline because we can only see your last submission. But I know this is really not a too difficult of assignment. It just takes some time, but it's a good professional practice assignment use of this software because you're using the different tools in Word, but you're doing more professional development on yourself and considering industries out there you might want to go work at. So that's assignment 1. If you have any questions on it, please be sure to post it to the discussion board and go to assignment 1 discussion, write your questions up in there, and I'll answer it where all the students can see it. Take care.